Stupid Garbage Podcast.
Oh, I like that. Hello.
You're so cute.
Hello.
Every single time.
Hello.
Hello. It's funny, too. It's
Oh.
just like when welcome to the show, dear readers. Every time Jessica opens, as you know, she has a lizard named Peaches. Every time she opens the tank
Peaches.
And takes the top off of it, and sometimes has to take his hide off of him because he's underneath it or whatever. But every time you reach into his cage to grab him, you go, "Don't be mad." It's really cute. It's every single day. It's usually around the same time, too. I can hear, even if I'm up here, I can hear you, "Don't be mad." Every single time. It's so sweet.
Oh my god. It's like reflex, too. Like, when you pointed it out, I was like, I don't want to, I'll try to not do it. But
you're like, "No, I don't. No."
But then I just reworded it. Like, I was like, don't be upset. I'm right here. It's just me.
You still say, "Don't be
Don't
mad."
be mad.
You still say, "Don't be mad." It's very cute. And it's funny because every single time, as you know, I'm the only one who listens to these things. So I listen to them 2 or 3 times between us recording them and them being uploaded onto YouTube. And so usually, once they're on YouTube, I usually just listen to the first few minutes to make sure there are no problems, and then like the last minute to make sure we got the whole episode up.
Yeah.
But even that is an update. Hello.
Hello.
Every single episode, that's how you start. It's adorable. So what do you got? Why don't we start there? 6:48 p.m., dear reader.
Yeah, I'm basically half asleep at 6 p.m. It's a little early for me, so...
How is that possible?
I'm not really as with it as I could be, but... As you know, Robert, my brain wakes up at night. So at 1 or 2 a.m., I'm prime awakeness. That's why I like to do a lot of my art really late at night.
I'm wide awake.
Something.
Yeah, I don't
know any of the words.
I don't know the song either. I don't know why I decided to go down that road. But anyway,
Something in the dark.
So what
Also,
do you have for us?
Today has been real fucking gloomy, and the lights have needed to be on all day because it's just dark and dreary. So it's felt like 5 or 6 p.m. all day. So first thing when I wake up, granted it was at 1 p.m., but when I wake up and it's already dark and I need the lights, it's just kind of sad, and it puts me in a mood. So that's what. Well, I looked up. God damn, I keep not thinking anything through. I keep looking up and pulling up lists on my phone of cute questions to ask you, but then I keep forgetting that the podcast is literally on my phone.
Why don't you pull it up anyway?
Okay. Because I can't even use my laptop because it needs to be plugged in at all times because it's broken.
Yeah.
It's kind of hopefully it's still recording. It is. Okay. So I have a couple questions for you.
Yeah, hit me.
Did I overwrite it with my lockdown questions?
What does that mean?
Hang tight.
All right. So in other news, I've been looking, as you know, not really looking into very.
I found it. I did.
Been looking at North Pole expeditions, but we can talk about that later. Go ahead.
Have you told them? You've just told me.
As I've told you, Jessica Sterner.
Oh, got it. Okay, so the first question is, what would you name a boat if you had one? So I was like, wow, this is a great list already.
Probably the Santa Maria del Mar. I've thought about that quite a bit.
Doesn't Del Mar just mean of the sea?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Santa Maria del Mar is the name. If you want a joke answer, I don't know, probably the C word or...
Oh, would you spell it like the SEA word?
Yeah, or
that's cute.
WARD, like towards the sea.
Oh, that's
or
cute.
Or maybe unsinkable too. I don't know. But in all seriousness, I like boats. If I ever got a boat, even like a small boat, a rowboat, I would probably call it the Santa Maria del Mar.
Why?
Because that, if you recall,
Not
was
very original.
Jessica, I feel like in these trying times especially, I need support and not for you to be picking glue off of your fingers and lobbing insults at me. Okay? That's not what we're about here.
All right.
That's not the sort of show I'm interested in running.
So do I have to stop picking the glue off? Look at it.
You have to do one or the other.
Fingerprints.
You have to stop picking the glue or
All right,
stop...
I'll stop lobbing for now.
Thank you.
Until the glue is off.
Or stop being a bitch.
Yesterday it was really funny. I was saying that not many people enjoy spending time with me, and Robert just looks at me and he goes, well, have you tried stop being... Shit. Can you do it?
Try not being such a bitch.
You were like, can you try not being such a raging cunt all the time? And I was like, that's amazing. You might have said bitch, but you
stepped on my line as you were retelling it. That's a special kind of talent that you'll find is very ill-suited to radio.
Yeah, no, I'm really...
Bad.
Okay, so questions.
I have the word. Yeah. But so anyway, I would name it Santa Maria del Mar. If you recall, when we went to Barcelona, we went to Spain. We just happened to stumble upon this rather large church. It was beautiful. It was called the Santa Maria del Mar.
Favorite.
In Barcelona, the place
Really?
to go is the place to go is the Sagrada Familia. The Sagrada Familia can suck shit. It's under construction.
They also don't let you, or no, I think they
not
let
that
you
cool.
in, but
It's
you
a
need
huge
to pay
line.
a lot of money.
It is not free like most churches are.
Yeah,
and
it seems like a bad practice.
It's not worth it, frankly. I've been to the Vatican. I've seen a lot of large churches.
You know what really sucks?
Sagrada Familia?
Notre Dame shit as well. I think a lot of, I mean, to be fair, I don't know if I've been, I mean, the Sacre Coeur is gorgeous. Like, I really liked the Sacre Coeur. Again, free.
Yeah, well.
I think you have to pay to go to the top, but just don't.
Yeah, I went to the top.
Yeah.
I'm not a Jew.
I didn't, and I also when I went to Paris the second time, I went to the Sacre Coeur again. Although it was...
Again.
And I still didn't go to the top, because I was like, it is still not worth it to me.
I told you specifically that it was worth the €8 to go up there.
I should have. Well, also, when I
know you should have.
when I
That's
got
why I
there,
told you to do it.
it immediately started raining, like, really badly, and I was freezing.
Your horse is petite.
And I was not well dressed. I did not know it was going to rain, and I was in tights and a trench coat, which are not very waterproof things.
What, are you flashing people your tits? What are you doing?
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Wait a minute, how is a trench coat not waterproof? That's the entire point of a trench coat.
Oh. Well, I don't know.
What the fuck are you doing?
Well, because mine is like a fashion trench coat. It's not like a...
Terrible.
You know,
Terrible.
it's one of those nude ones.
What
it's not
would
like
you-
a poncho.
Okay, again, the nudity. Stop. You're just wearing a clear poncho.
But anyway, so I got to the Sacre Coeur, and it was, as a church would be, it was like this sanctuary of warmth. And I don't think it was very well heated, but it was just not actively raining on me. And I was like staying there as long as I could, trying to warm up. And I even like sat in the pews.
If you go to the top, you are still covered. As I told you when I told you
Okay,
about this.
if we go to France in December, which I really hope we will.
Yeah.
Or if I go back for Fashion Week, which, again, who knows at this point, but...
Anyway, what would you name a boat?
I would never get a boat. I'd name it Motherfucker, and I'd sink it myself.
Oh, this was fun.
So, what is the closest thing to real magic? I thought that was a very cute question.
I can sometimes clench my butthole and make my back crack.
That's true. You
I'd say
sometimes make me put my hand on your back so I can experience it with you.
I've never done that in my life. I have never even had that thought in my life. I have once, maybe 2 days ago, said, "Did you hear that?" After I cracked my back, and you went, "What?" And I said, "Did you hear that cracking sound?" And you went, "I don't know." And I said, "I just cracked my back with my butthole," which I'm pretty sure it's not even like an old person problem. It's like a dead person problem. That's something that happens to like a cadaver during an autopsy.
It's very, like, how tight does your butthole get? Because that's horrifying.
Back cracking tight.
That's horrifying. That's gross.
Tight enough to snap bones or whatever cracking your back is. Obviously, it's not snapping bones. But what about you?
I would say Paris.
Paris is the closest thing to real magic.
Yeah.
The city of Paris.
Yeah.
Is okay.
Just walking through it and you're like, wow.
Who's the messiest person you know? We don't even have to do that.
Yeah, well.
What will finally break the internet? I don't know. The Amish uprising?
I was going to say, the most useless talent that you have is definitely the butthole
I'd say
cracking.
back to the butthole cracking, yeah. Well, it's not useless. It cracks my back, which feels quite nice. I can fold my tongue 3 different ways. That's pretty useless.
I can do that too. I can do more than 3 ways, so.
I can bring a woman to orgasm, which is, I can't think of a single use that has.
Can you?
Slam dunk, Jess.
Can you?
She strikes again.
I didn't know
Double
if you were,
dipping.
I didn't know if you were hey-yoing at your own joke or my joke.
At yours.
Oh, okay.
Slam. Wham, bam, thank you. Let's be real. If I couldn't, you wouldn't still be here. You're a bit of a whore.
All right. I'm not a whore.
I'll say this.
Well,
that does not make you a whore, but you are also a whore.
That's true. That's more my point. That doesn't make me a whore. It just makes me know what I'm worth. And if a guy can't, do his job, then he's not worth having. Yeah.
What about you? Most useless talent you have? You don't have to.
I don't have any talent. Yeah, I do.
That's fair.
It's gonna go black, and then I'm gonna have to retype in my
What
password.
would be on the gag reel of
Wait,
your
let
life?
me think of
I would say just your
That's
life.
a stupid question. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of I can laugh like a goblin, as you know, which is pretty useless. But...
Yeah, but that's not a talent. You don't do that on purpose. I make you do that. What is this list of fun questions to ask? In what context? All right, let me see.
Conversation
Here are some
starters
really
of the
fun
world.
questions to ask and answer. They cover all kinds of different subjects, so there are sure to be some that'll be perfect for you and the person you're talking to. Okay, that's just it. Okay.
Is this not what you meant by prep? Like, didn't you?
No, this is fine.
Okay.
I'm just wondering what the
I looked up
engine
unique, fun
behind this
questions
list
to ask.
was. What the dynamite of it was. Okay.
What's the worst smelling place you've been?
This is a terrible question. Who would want to think about that? All right, what's your answer?
The marine bird exhibit at the Bronx Zoo.
I don't even think that's the worst smelling place in the Bronx.
Well, no, I find that place just unbearable to be in. I think a lot of caves smell really, really bad, too.
What the fuck? These are weird goblin answers. You're a fucking wood troll. I've said it before, I'll say it again.
Caves smell very bad. All right, anyway.
Stop shitting in them. Stop going into the woods and shitting in caves.
Okay.
No, I will not.
I like the number 9.
What's a body part that you wouldn't mind losing?
It's kind of a weird question.
I could probably do without my pinkies. I don't think I need them.
Okay, that's a good...
I guess I wouldn't be able to play guitar as well.
Maybe
my pinky toes. Although I do like...
I would get rid of my pinky toes in a heartbeat. They also have, 4 nails between them,
let's tango.
as you know.
I think there's a knife in here somewhere.
Oh.
Let's fucking party. I'll cut your toes right off.
I mean, I think the toes are a good thing. I could give up... Yeah.
There you go. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, there's not really many things.
Eyebrows. Who needs them?
Yeah, well, you would just pluck them, right? Like, that's not... Your eyebrows aren't a body part. They're just hair.
Well, I guess you got
It's like saying I'd get rid of my mustache. It's like, no.
Well, what's the dumbest way you've been injured?
My brother did a cartwheel onto my pinky and broke it.
Take it off.
As you know, I also just put my hand on a hot stove because I thought it would be fun, and I got 2nd-degree burns or something, and I had to wear a cast for a couple weeks.
What?
Yeah, Mom, I think she told you about this.
I don't recall this story.
Oh, I literally, when I was a kid, for some reason, I used to love putting my hand on the stove.
When I was, for some reason, a child.
It was a flat stove. It wasn't like it didn't have gas or anything. It was just electric.
It's an electric range, yeah.
And it was just so smooth. And I don't know why, but I just love to put my fucking weird goblin hands on the surface of the stove. And that was that. And then one day, my mom turned the stove off, and I want to say that the red marking that signifies that it's hot was off.
I want to say that you're a goddamn idiot.
So I just went like, oh, duh, and I put it on, and my mom just goes, oh my god, and it took me a couple seconds to register how hot it was. So she looked at me, and she had this horrified face on, and I was just like, what? And then all of a sudden she's like, your face just turned into this scream. So she remembers it very vividly. We were making active eye contact the whole time.
You're so... How are you not dead?
And then I had to go to the hospital, I had to go to some doctor, and he, gave me a cast to wear.
The vet. You went to an at-home veterinarian.
I remember when we were walking home, the way that the light shone on the cast, it looked almost rainbow.
Shined.
It looked almost rainbow, and I thought it was really cool.
That is cool.
So yeah,
I don't think it's worth it.
What about you?
I don't think I've ever really been badly injured. I was once hit by a car.
That's pretty stupid.
But that was, I don't know that I'd say it's a dumb way to be injured.
I think it is.
Well, then there you go. Bada bing.
I think you're pretty fucking dumb.
Bada boom. Yeah, but even that, I didn't really get injured. I got hit by a car, and then I was fine.
I mean, yeah, and the motorcycle incident wasn't stupid. You just, it was a genuine accident.
Yeah, we'll tell you about that later, dear readers. We'll tease it for next time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A tease.
Okay.
All right. Which fictional character would be the most boring to meet in real life? I don't know if I have any opinion on that. A lot of characters are boring. Fuck
Eeyore
you.
seems like a bit of a downer.
Oh, no, I would love Eeyore.
Then, I don't know. I'd say, most boring. What an odd question. You would
Right?
think that asking the most exciting... I mean, I guess I've never heard that question before, but there's probably a reason why.
Yeah, why would I want to think of things that give me no joy?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, June Cleaver from Leave It to Beaver. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Housewife in the 50s, 60s. I don't know.
What stupid?
You got to read the.
You can read a lot faster than
What
I
is the
can,
best
so
and worst purchase you've ever made?
No.
Best purchase probably Jessica.
Peaches.
Worst purchase.
Peaches.
Well, maybe. I don't think I've made many dumb purchases either. I live a pretty conservative lifestyle. I don't know. I once bought a switchblade that I then sliced my thumb open with accidentally an hour later.
That's pretty.
Or an hour after it came.
Oh, that's
in
a
the mail,
good
whatever.
dumb injury.
Yeah, that probably answers two of them. I bought in the mail 2 Batman switchblades for I think maybe $15, and I sold one of them for $60, so that was great. And then I
What?
kept the other one. Yeah, it was pretty
To
cool.
who?
Some idiot at school who wanted a Batman Switchblade, just like me.
Good God.
And so I was just playing with it when it came in the mail, and my mother just was going to bed. It was like 10:30, and she said, "All right, just be careful with it." And I went, "I'll be careful with it, Mom." And I hit the little lever that disengages the blade, so it swings back close. You can close it, and it just sliced my thumb right open. And it was just bleeding and bleeding. And my mother was walking up the stairs as this happened, so I just had to play it cool for like 5 seconds. And then my mother is a medical doctor, and so I put paper towel around it, and it was bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. You know, your thumb has a pulse to it, so after like 15 minutes, I would take the paper towel off and go, okay, it's slowing down a little. If it's slowing down this much in 15 minutes, I won't go get my mom. And then after 15 minutes, I was like, it's right in the line. I'll wait another 15. So I kept doing that for like an hour and a half. And finally, I think I was just panicking the entire time. Finally, I calmed down enough to be like, oh, if I just turn my thumb the other way so it's not dripping blood, so the blood can actually fucking pool, it'll stop bleeding. And then sure enough, 5 minutes later, it was basically fine. And I have a little scar on my thumb that's, I don't know, an inch long or so.
You're a goddamn idiot.
My Batman Switchblade.
Yeah, that definitely should have come to our minds quicker, but whatever.
Oh,
the worst purchase, I mean, I make a lot of really bad purchases. Like,
Sure.
a lot of really bad. We don't have time. We don't have time.
That's true.
I like, even looking around the room, I'm like, oh, that,
Yeah,
that,
6 or 7.
that. Yeah.
Really standing out.
Yep.
Okay, if you had to change your name, what would your new name be, and why would you choose that name?
It would be my D&D name. So, it would be Carnage.
Like the Spider-Man villain. I'd be something like Thragfucker or...
What?
I don't know.
You'd have to get a job.
Deep Fister. I don't have to do... Your name is Carnage. Blow me.
Yeah, but, you know, it's not inappropriate.
Fine. Okay, my name would be Deep Fister, and I'd be a ventriloquist. Leave me alone.
Okay.
What about you? Carnage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, like, I told you I was watching a show and her name was Dodge. And I was like, that's a cool fucking name. Why not? Anyway, what are some things that sound like compliments but are actually insults?
People say to me, of you and me, we deserve each other. That hurts every single time someone says it. It really genuinely hurts my feelings.
Fuck off.
It stings.
Suck a dick, Robert.
So, what about you?
Your cock.
What?
You are rude. The question is worded in a way that it's not asking what, like, it's not asking about me. It's just asking generally, which I think is a weird way to word it. But I don't know. I get backhanded compliments a lot. I don't know. Like, sometimes bosses will just be like, oh, that was an interesting way to do that. Or something like that. Or, like...
Yeah. Like, oh, I see you're going this route with it.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't have thought of it that way.
I don't think that's meant to be a compliment, really. But it's just a little, very, very thinly veiled amount of tactful passive aggression.
Yeah, I think I mean, backhanded compliments abound, always.
Yeah, maybe a real compliment needs to be... No? Okay.
Needs to be what?
Needs to be the answer to the question.
What?
Never mind. Doesn't matter. I'm saying in order to answer the question in good faith, you need to think of a real compliment. Or
That's
something
actually...
meant as a compliment, but...
I don't... I mean...
Your dick smells like salami. At first you think, great, meat. But then you think, oh, shouldn't smell like that. You know? Something like that. Easy, simple, something you hear all the time.
The only ones that, like, upset me that I don't really view as
Your
compliments...
box smells like fried clams.
What's up with you and genitals?
I'm just trying to transfer it to something you would understand.
I don't know, Rob. I mean, I feel like the only compliments I get are actually compliments, so I don't really feel that way.
Wow. Okay.
I just don't like it when people say that I'm nice.
Well, they don't, because you're not.
Upsets me. Or, like, no, people say that, like, oh, you're very nice, and I can tell you're, like, a really sweet... I'm like, ew.
Who?
People that don't know me that well.
They're trying to sell you something?
Probably.
Okay, well, what's your biggest screw up in the kitchen? Letting you keep the lizard there, frankly. That was, I mean, I don't know, letting you bring it into the house in any capacity. But I would say, not me, but Greg Corner, dear readers. Favorite part of any show, my little brother Gregory, when he was, 7 or 8, he would do this a lot, actually. He got it in his mind to make muffins. And so he said, I'm going to make a muffin recipe. And my mother said, or cupcakes. And my mother said, oh, cool. What's the actual recipe? What are the ingredients? And he went, no, I don't need any of that. I'm just going to put stuff into a muffin tin and toss them in the oven. And Gregory when he actually cares to cook, is a very talented cook, very talented chef, and can make things in very large quantities very, very easily.
Why would that not be difficult?
Well, it's really, really easy to make one panini. It's very difficult to make 100 paninis in half an hour because you have to make everything perfectly and you have to make everything in the same quantities and the same time and you have to time things very well, and it's harder. It is.
Okay.
Anyone, maybe not anyone, but a lot of people can cook one really good dish, but to run a restaurant or to run a kitchen or whatever, he doesn't work in a kitchen really, but to do that you have to be able to churn out 40 dishes in an hour or something. So but anyway, he's very talented, but obviously he just put in every ingredient he could get his hands on and put them into a muffin tin and put them in the oven.
Oh, Lord.
They were horrible. They were terrible. And he did it like 3 more times. He did it too with I think a pancake batter mix. Tasted like soap. He might have put soap in it. I don't even know. He also, kind of a similar story, got it in his head that he wanted to make a candle. And so my mother likes candles, and so she has a lot of, tea light candles or whatever those are called, and has a lot of bigger candles. And so he got a giant candle. He got the biggest candle my mother had, which was, I don't know, the size of a paper towel roll or something.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was really big, and it was like a foot tall. And so anyway, he got that candle, and it was already, halfway burnt down. So he melted a bunch of wax into the glass container that the candle was held in, on top of the candle that already existed, and 15 different candles, and he might have even put something in the middle of it to make a longer wick. I don't remember. And then he lit it, and then it started burning really, really, really high and fast. And he said, "Bob, I don't know what's happening. I need your help." And so I came in, and it was on the kitchen table, so it was maybe 3 feet off the ground. And so he couldn't, for whatever reason, I think he put birthday candles into it too. So they had started melting, and those were like trick candles. And so
oh my God,
there were like 4 or 5 different flames burning. And so I got a cup of water, and he was maybe 8 or 9, so I was like 10, 11, 12. I got a cup of water, and I don't know why, I just had the intuition to hold it up really, really high and pour it onto it. And I don't know if that was part of the problem or if that prevented my hand from getting badly burnt, but I poured water onto it, and it shot up towards the ceiling, like all the way up to the ceiling in a giant burst of flame, and then was out. But yeah, just my hand being high enough, I was able to pull it away and did not get burnt. But that was just really interesting, and that's why we don't let Greg unsupervised from the kitchen anymore.
Sure.
That's it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Worst screw up in the kitchen would be that. Next question: what's the worst commercial you've seen? Why is it so? Okay. What is the craziest thing one of your teachers has done?
I'm not in school.
Okay.
I mean, you can answer these if you want.
I mean, you've had teachers before, and your mother's a teacher.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't have a very crazy life. Well, actually, our chorus teacher threw one of the music stands at one of the kids, I'm pretty sure.
There you go. Well, you were...
got fired for it.
That's... Yeah,
I was on his side. That kid was an asshole.
Jessica went to school in the 7th mile of Detroit, and so a lot of turmoil in those school systems, but... When did you screw everything up but no one ever found it was you? You're screwing everything up right now, but I know it's you, so I don't know about that. What problem or situation did TV or movies make you think would be common, but when you grew up, found it wasn't? I don't know, quicksand or something?
Yeah, I was going to say, there was a thing about...
For me, it was quicksand, says the question.
Oh.
Always with the quicksand.
And whirlpools and stuff, people always say, like,
sure.
They expected them to be huge. I was thinking about this the other day, because there was a thing in a movie where, like, something happened that way, and I was like, this literally never happens, and it's such a huge trope in movies.
Yeah, nothing is ever as hard as it looks in movies. No one ever offers you drugs, ever. You don't have to worry about peer pressure from people trying. I mean, I've gone to parties. I went to a party when I was, like, 15 or 16, and someone asked me if I wanted a beer, and I said no, and they went, okay. And that was the only time I've ever been anything remotely peer pressured at a party or anything.
That has not been my experience. I've been peer pressured all the time, forever. Yeah,
you're a woman. You have tits. People want to get you drunk so they can fuck you.
Okay, but also my girlfriends always tried to get me drunk too, because they, I also was like a little bit judgy when my friends would drink, because I was like, you turn into idiots and I don't like it. Like, hold your liquor better. And they'd always be like, you're not fun. And I'm like, well, stop being an idiot. But Anyway, so like my friends, and they also just like, you know, wanted me to have a good time, and they thought that it would help, and you know, maybe my high school life would have been a little easier if I drank, but let's not go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, the drug thing is a good one. Also, like, I don't know, I feel like the whole, like, a lot of the things in kids, not kids, but like the whole coming of age thing, where it's like, you know, getting laid isn't as hard as anyone makes it seem ever. And also, like, a lot of the problems that happen, it's like, this would never happen, and, you know, there's a lot of things. Life isn't as exciting. Like, I feel like strangers don't help you or interact with you anywhere near as much as they do in movies. Like, there's always a kind stranger that leads them down the next path, and it's like, I like, no one would ever talk to me in this situation. Anyway.
Interesting.
There are a lot of things. Yeah.
What quote or saying do people spout but is complete bullshit?
What doesn't kill me makes me stronger.
That's not a bad one. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. I hear that one a lot. Bullshit. I talk all the time, and it's never come back to me in court. In large part because I... Oh, hello.
Oh, sorry.
Hi there.
I want to pet you.
No, that's okay.
While you talk.
In large part because I plead guilty immediately. But still, my point stands, I think.
I'm trying to... Like, people do that all the time. I think, like... A lot of people who've never faced a problem in their life are always just like, you know, always look on the bright side and blah, blah. It's like, bitch, you've never gone through a hardship. Speaking of the movie yesterday, you are not pure.
Jessica is quoting Glass apropos of nothing.
I'm quoting
without any
Kevin
context.
Wendell Crumb.
Oh my god.
From Glass and Split, my favorite character in the history of any movie character.
You are pure.
Rejoice!
So this was fun.
Wait, okay. Are you done? Do you have anything else you want to do?
No, we can keep doing this. What's something your brain tries to make you do and you have to will yourself not to do it? I don't know, every single toddler I see, I think I could punt that baby across the street. Or like anytime you see like a 95-year-old who's just hobbling down the street, you think, if I punch that person, they would explode into dust. It's just an interesting, you know, just an interesting mathematical almost. Not really even philosophical, just like from a scientific standpoint. What would happen if I smacked that person in the sternum? Would they literally turn into a pile of bones? I think maybe yes. They would just puff up into nothingness and be a pile of clothes like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You're so weird. It's funny because like Rob is literally one of the least aggressive people I've ever met in my entire life.
I mean, I never do it, but...
No, I know, but you're like actively so kind to everyone. And it's funny to hear. What?
As far as you know.
Well, true. I wish you were less kind. Makes me feel like a terrible, terrible human being.
There should be a lot of other things that make you feel like a terrible, terrible human being. I should have nothing to do with that.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, I have to hold my tongue and not tell people what I really think of them a lot. I find that to be surprisingly difficult. I have to stop myself from hissing at children. Hissing at children.
Okay, you want to explain that?
I just hate them.
Okay, why? Okay,
and they
I understand you don't like kids. Why is the compulsion? You are a mammal. Why is the compulsion to hiss at them?
Cats hiss.
Okay, well.
I mean,
you shut me up.
It just...
No, that's it. That's all you have to say. You got it. Next question. Yeah, it's fine. Next question.
Okay.
If you could know the absolute and total truth to one question, what question would you ask?
We've done this before on the podcast.
Have we?
Yeah, you came up with some bullshit answer and then didn't listen to me.
Wow. All right, what's your fucking fantastic answer, Jessica?
No, I think I actually said the quarantine ending probably.
Okay, so you have the ability to wave a wand and know if there's life after death or aliens or anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would probably
when do I get to go to the zoo again?
Yeah.
Games.
No, it would. I mean, maybe it would be like what we were talking about. Like, how would I die? Maybe I would ask if there was a heaven and hell.
I would ask, what happened to Brendan Fraser, you know?
He's so good.
What happened to his career? Where did that go?
He just took a break. A breaky break.
Yeah, he took a 20-year sabbatical.
Dude, I saw a post the other day that was like, oh, these celebrity glow downs make me so sad. And I was like, why would you do a post like this? Like, that's so mean. Because
they're assholes. It doesn't make them sad, and they want clicks and page views, and they're bad people, and they have no principle. And also, it's not a glow down. It's called aging.
Yeah, like, I was
like... how hot he was at 18, and now he's 57 and fat. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, Brendan Fraser's allowed to...
He has a pot belly and throat cancer. Yuck. What? You kidding me?
Yeah, I don't like
die in a hole.
Especially when it's actors that I like. Like, whatever. Like, Brendan Fraser, again, I know nothing about him at all. But I would say he's a good person. It's like the
I'm sure I'm not saying he did anything bad. I just,
exactly.
Why did he stop making all these movies?
No, that's fine. You're allowed to ask that question. I'm saying,
cares
like,
about
the fact that Brendan Fraser was on that glow down list made me upset. Because I was like, dude, he's literally, like, if you do, what we were talking about, Kevin Spacey, I'd be like, yeah, fuck that guy, what a twat. But, like, with, you know, he deserves any, like, Harvey Weinstein? Harvey Weinstein. It's like, yeah, he deserves to be made fun of, and that's fine.
Friend of the show, Harvey Weinstein, madam.
Not friend of the show. Anyway. What ridiculous thing has someone tricked you into
you skip 23?
Doing or believing? I don't know.
Stop. You're just freelancing these.
Okay.
Go one after the other. Sequentially, like you're counting to 100.
What's the most interesting thing that you've read or seen this week?
Jessica doesn't read, dear reader, so we don't have anything to talk about there. What have you seen?
I watch the news.
No, you don't. What? Oh, you watch Instagram.
Yeah, I watched how difficult the quarantine has been for trans people this week.
Interesting.
And I was like, that does sound hard.
Why is it more difficult for them specifically?
I don't know. They were saying...
All right, that is interesting.
No, I mean, it's, to me, it's just like,
I got bored. I tapped my phone.
Listen,
something else came up.
There's like a delay in the time frame that they'll be able to get their surgeries in.
Sure.
And also, like, they were saying, like, closing down colleges and stuff, like, some trans people can't go home because their parents kicked them out, and some trans people feel as though they can't go home, and...
well, then what would they do when the semester ends anyway?
Well, it's kind of like they'll figure that out then, but now they have way less time to plan, and, like, they don't have a backup plan.
All of this sounds difficult, but none of these sound like trans-specific. Like, yeah, non-elective surgeries are being postponed, and it's difficult to go back to homes wherein you are maybe abused or you just don't want to be there, sure, but none of those sound like trans-specific issues.
Yeah, but a trans person is way more likely to be in an unsafe, housing condition because a lot of people aren't cool with it. Additionally, apparently the trans...
I just thought they'd be like, I thought it'd be something like their hormones are being delayed from shipping or something.
Well, that's probably true too, but...
Why don't we speculate?
Yeah, I mean...
Why don't we guess why it's hard
trans people
for
can't get hormones now.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they also said, like, it was crazy. They said, I think it was trans women of color, their life expectancy is 35 or 36 years old.
No.
Well, that's literally what the news said, so...
You're misquoting something, or
I swear on my life, I will screenshot it.
Go ahead, screenshot it.
But,
you can't spread misinformation like that.
They literally said it.
They said something, and you're confused.
I don't know what... Anything. I'm trying to... Okay, hang on. It was...
You can't place a Snapchat
No, I'm not going to play it! I'm just gonna go to it and tell you who said it so you guys can make your own decisions. Well, it's not here.
This is good.
I think I didn't finish it, so it's not.
You can't even get through a Snapchat story?
No, I could. Well, they said in other news, and then they started talking about random bullshit
and
I
got sleepy.
I just didn't care about it. I could... Oh, stay tuned. No, I didn't finish it. They just did another one. Why the trans community is hit so hard by COVID. Snap Original, NBC News, stay tuned. And they said that the life expectancy for trans women was like 35 or 36 in comparison to non-trans, who it was like, 70 or 80 or whatever the fuck. And I thought that was a terrifying statistic, and it's probably because they're, attacked and...
If you Google trans person of color life expectancy, the first thing that comes up is, in 2015, a trope took hold in the United States media to the effect that the life expectancy of a trans woman of color is only 35 years, a number both terrifying and ludicrous.
Yes.
It's not true.
Okay, well, anyway.
This appears to be based on the report of the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, which was compiled data on the age of death of murdered trans women for all of the Americas and does not desegregate by race. So of all murder victims who are trans women, the average age of death is 35. I would think that's probably pretty normal for murder victims.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of old people get murdered, but I mean, I don't know. And that this has nothing to do with race.
Well, I think a lot of the murderers are... Well, I think also, like, the people that are... Although I guess all murder is kind of like a hate crime in a way. Like, people who murder young women murder them because they're young and beautiful, and they're...
Yeah, I mean, I think they have a type, but yeah, like serial killers at least, or mass murderers. Yeah, I think a lot
of the times it's like young, beautiful women, or like rapists who rape and kill women.
Sure.
They pick a certain type.
Or like sex workers who tend to be very young.
Exactly. They always go for prostitutes.
I wouldn't be surprised if you told me that, like, the average woman being murdered is around 35 years old. That wouldn't surprise me.
I would assume younger, but...
I would guess younger, but 35 wouldn't shock me. happening right
Exactly.
now.
But
so that's
that
not
statistic
is
misleading is what I was going to fucking say.
It's not
I
misleading.
feel misled by the news. Fuck you,
That's
Rob.
what I told you. That's what I said 90 seconds ago.
Now that we proved it, I am changing my opinion. Fuck
All right,
you.
thank you.
The proof is in the pudding, and you just fed me the pudding. So.
There you go. Eat up, sweetie. Weird fucking
God
podcast
damn.
this is turning into.
Anyway,
We should go back to recording at night when I'm too tired to talk.
Thank you.
This is horrible. Being attentive to this and realizing what it is that we're talking about is really disturbing.
Anyway, but it was saying other than that, yeah, because they were saying it's not that, oh no, elective surgeries aren't being available. It's like the fact that they have such a gender dysphoria, I guess, and they have such a body dysphoria. It's like it's actively hurting their mental health to not feel the way on the outside or feel on the inside the way they look on the outside, and that kind of, fucks with their mental health a lot.
Yeah.
So the sooner the better, and they already have to wait a long time. Like if you apply, you have to wait years sometimes to get that surgery. So like now that it's double that, it just seemed, I would get very sad.
Yeah. So the most interesting thing I've read or seen, that was a good one.
Thank you.
Most interesting thing I've read or seen this week. I've read a couple of interesting things. As you guys have heard, I was reading about cruises to the North Pole. So I was reading a lot about actually just both the North and South Pole when they were first reached, at least first documented that someone reached them. I was also reading about Ronald McDonald, which is not interesting at all. I figured there'll be like an interesting story behind how this, and nope, just some guy who's Bozo the Clown. The actor was brought in and they made a clown, and that was it. It was really, if you look up old pictures of Ronald McDonald though, like the early pictures of him, they're pretty horrifying.
Oh my god, what's on his nose?
Yeah, I think it's a cup instead of like a clown nose.
Oh my god.
It's pretty stupid, but it's not interesting in the slightest. I was also reading about the Barnum and Bailey Circus. I didn't know that the Ringling Brothers and the Barnum and Bailey Circus were the same circus from like, I don't know. I can actually look it up right now. I thought they were two separate. I thought they were like rival circuses well into, maybe even into the 21st century. But turns out, no, Ringling Bros and Barnum and Bailey Circus was merged in like 1915 or something, 1919. So like for 100 years, like certainly my entire lifetime, they were the same. And way like to the end of World War I onward, pretty much it was the same circus. So I always thought that they were competing with each other a lot more than they were, but apparently not.
That's something that I've literally never thought about my entire life.
Yeah, I guess. I guess that's a fair point. But, yeah, all right. You got me there. But one of my sisters, in this research, I stumbled upon, once again, the tale of Jumbo the elephant.
Oh, no.
Who is the mascot. Not elephants. Jumbo the elephant specifically is the mascot for Tufts, which is one of the few, maybe the only thing I can think of wherein the mascot is a specific, I guess Trojans, kind of. It's not like the soldiers, but
it's not like Mark the Trojan.
Right, exactly. The name of the mascot might be Mark the Trojan, but the Tufts teams aren't the elephants, they're the Jumbos. So it's the entire, which is weird.
That's the lamest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's weird, and it's based off of this giant elephant, or maybe just elephant-sized elephant, I don't know. This very large elephant who was in the circus that P.T. Barnum bought from the London Zoo, and it caused quite a stir at the time. Well, the people didn't think that he should be sold privately, and the people of London wanted to stay in England and thought it was like a national treasure, and they petitioned Queen Victoria not to let the sale go through, as if she could have done anything about it.
What the fuck?
But yeah, it's very odd. But yeah, Jumbo the elephant is Tufts' mascot, and
if you look it up, are you gonna tell the story?
Yeah, I'll tell the story. The only other thing I can think of is ow. My elementary school, I don't know any elementary schools that have mascots, but mine, for some reason, maybe because it was very old, had a mascot. It was Humpty Dumpty, and who is, as you all know, an egg famous for breaking into 1,000 pieces. So it's not really a intimidating image.
I was gonna say, it's not a good, like, mascot for the school, but it's also not a good sports mascot. Like, it is literally an egg is the worst mascot I could ever think of for a sports team.
Yeah, no.
Like, if you asked me to think of really bad ideas, that would be number one.
No, you're right.
Porcelain would be a second one.
Yeah, it's...
The porcelain dolls.
It's fucking terrible. So, it's horrible. So, not only was our mascot Humpty Dumpty, there was a giant stone statue of Humpty Dumpty.
I have seen it, dear readers, in person. It is so horrifying.
Yeah, he has teeth.
It is
he has human
disgusting.
teeth. He's gross.
I have a picture next to him. Link in description.
No, link in the description. And you're welcome, because it will haunt your dreams.
If you want it, ask for it, and Rob will be obligated.
Jumbo, legend has it, died when he saw a very little elephant, might have been a baby elephant, named Tom Thumb, going across train tracks, and he saw a train coming, and he rushed out to save the tiny elephant, and instead was hit himself. Who knows if that's actually true, but he was in fact hit by a train and killed. And then, so, when he was, the stuffed animal was donated to Tufts University, where it was displayed at P.T. Barnum Hall for many years. The hide was destroyed in a fire in April of 1975. Ashes from that fire, which are believed to contain the elephant's remains, are kept in a 14-ounce Peter Pan crunchy peanut butter jar in the office of the Tufts athletic director.
Ew! What?
While his taxidermied tail, removed during earlier renovations, resides in the holdings of the Tufts digital collections and archives.
Jesus fuck.
These people are
peanut butter jar.
Real weird about this elephant. Real weird about it.
Oh, and why when I want to keep animal parts am I considered a freak? But other people could just keep animal parts.
These people are also freaks.
In a peanut butter jar. With the disrespect.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But the elephant, his skeleton is in the Natural History Museum.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
In New York. So you might have seen his skeleton before.
Where would it be, though?
Maybe the big main hall with the elephant in it. I don't know.
What? The main hall? With the elephant in it?
Yeah, we don't have to talk about the layout of the Natural History Museum.
I have a map in my head of the Natural History Museum.
Okay, well.
There's like a dinosaur wing with a bunch of skeletons, and there's a mammal wing and an Africa wing that have taxidermy bodies. I don't think they are any skeletons.
Well, I'll have to tell you. There is
I have
a
friend
building
whose dad works there, so I'll ask her. There
you go. There's a building in Margate, New Jersey, that is called Lucy the Elephant. It's a 6-story structure modeled after Jumbo the Elephant. It's like 65 feet tall. It's somewhere down on the shore.
Oh, was that in like the Pee-wee Big Adventure?
It's possible.
T-Rex or something.
I don't know. It is a National Historic Landmark.
No.
That's kind of shocking.
I'm so upset.
There's another one that looks like that called the Elephantine Colossus on Coney Island, which is odd because I've been to Coney Island and I've never seen it.
I still want to go to Coney Island like during the day. Like I want to enter the park.
It burnt down in a fire. Oh, in 1896. Okay, fair enough.
Anyway,
let's
get off
3
of
elephant buildings. I mean, we're done. So, I mean, we can do. It was 122 feet tall.
Did you have any
prep
Jesus today?
Christ. I did, but they were all longer.
I just want to do a fucking devil's advocate, and you keep not letting me.
We can start with that next episode.
Some of our podcasts are 50 minutes. Why don't we do it?
Yeah, well, I like to start wrapping things up once we hit the 40-minute mark. If we end up being embroiled in a discussion that carries us to 51 minutes, that's fine. But I don't want to start a new subject that might... Because I don't want... For some of this stuff, we can talk for 25 minutes on.
Ugh.
I don't want to start that while we're 45 minutes in.
I would say in the future, let's just do yours first, because mine are just like bullshit questions.
So what?
Which are fun, and they send us on ridiculous tangents, but also, I don't know, yours I often find are, dare I say, better than mine.
Go ahead. I'll let you.
Better. I have a big thing of chocolate. You know that we were talking about how I used to munch Hershey Kisses like an animal?
Yeah.
I will display it for you after this.
What does that mean?
I'll show you how I used to eat it like an animal. Because it's a nice thick piece of chocolate that I saved for you.
That'll be good for the radio.
Exactly. I was going to do it on the radio, but then I was like, that seems literally insane, even for me.
Maybe not insane, but just poor judgment. But you didn't, so
yeah.
There you go.
But I wanted the readers to know I was doing it. So.
Okay, well, would you like to take us out? munching on some chocolate. Go ahead, Jess.
Okay, ready? This is what you do. You just go like this and you...
She's nibbling on it like a hamster would on a pellet.
Yeah. Satisfying.
How would you do that to a Hershey's Kiss? They're tiny.
No, I told you they're like this big.
Oh, you got the ones that were the size of an orange.
Just take it and you from
what?
the top down.
Okay, well, see you later, pod racers.
Less of a reaction than I expected, but, you know, you always have to do me like that.
Okay, bye.
ASMR?
No, don't. See you later, pod racers.